being the ones to counter. Mongrel, and Mitro have adopted over multiple weeks of the FNCS, from forcing early game fights on Blacktop to coming in late for third parties from the residential side. They use every advantage depending on the type of situation they have to beat other trios and win week after week, leaving the whole lobby scared every time they think the bus driver. Happy Hamlet has been the most competitive players and most chest bombs and many machines included. Having good options for rotations with ziplines and dipboards, as well as the option of excess loot to get snowside if you have zone. Winning this drop and having room to play is a player's dream come true. Playing this drop, however, is very difficult. Because of how abundant and plentiful loot is, you will always have an uphill fight to win and conquer the game. Performing an advantage heading into the game. Taking fights here is all about who engages first and who gets the third party, with most engagements ending quick, with many angles taken or vertical, making it a lot easier to headshots for that number thing. Close range box fights are also very common, with less room for mistakes and instant eliminations on knocked players, keeping all opponents healthy off of Cypher. Eclipse, Mega, and Dubs land at Happy, usually preferring the north side of the drop, and although might have trouble making it out of early game in a few of their games, the loot they get when the drop ends up working out sets them up for exponentially more points in the end game with lots of mobility, shields, and high rarity weapons to make big clutches with. Landing at powerful drop spots is a challenge that requires practice and teamwork to overcome. Being efficient with comms, having a plan, being prepped and ready, as well as adapting to anything you see on the glide are keys in being successful in the early parts of your game. Use that edge for a boost on the competition in endgame, securing good placement and healing points with your trio. And who knows, maybe you can be on the top of the FNCS.
What's up, Fortnite fam? It's me, Zeke, and I'm hanging out with the best. What are we doing, Zeke? What are we doing? We are going to make some very bold predictions heading into the finals of the FNCS.
But my pick is actually the WGS trio of Jag, Horde, and QLO. They played over in Europe for the World Cup. They had the most amount of experience. I think that's
Sure. Speaking of Europe, Shy Wager, Europe.
You guys already know who the kings are of Europe. Mitro, Mongrel, Best. I think that this kind of revolution is often cheating than popular. They have a kind of counter play style that already have a rivalry that's brewing with the kings of Europe, and I think these guys will have a chance of taking it over at the end of the grand finals.
All right, for NA East, Shy, we're going to pick your brain again. Give us those predictions.
So one of the favorite picks to win NA East are Bucky, Animal, and Aspect, but I think the counter to that trio, who's really strong at the moment, is Clicks, Crims, and Spades. They play kind of a rugged type of low ground situation, always getting the recognition at the end of the game. So I think their type of randomness and weird plays that happen at the end will have them make big plays to win at the end of the grand finals.
Now let's talk about Brazil, gentlemen. I'm going to take this one. I'm going to make a bold claim here. I'm going to say the red trio is going to bring it home. Snow, Avalar, just barely missed out on qualifying. The same for Snow and Avalar. This will be their weekend. They're very hungry for the win. I'm telling you guys, they are going to do it. Now, finally, let's wrap up with NA West. Monster D-Face, give us your take.
I'd be crazy not to mention the trio, Centric, Rex, and consistent in the NA West region. But I think another trio that can give them a run for their money is going to be Arkham, Falconer, and Vinny. And Falconer, by the way, the only free agent on this team here in the NA West at the top of the board, still dominating. So I would like to see them come through and pull big for the NA West region.
Some pretty bold decisions made across the board.
beep, beep.
Now, Fortnite fam, I know you guys are ready to get into all of the action, but first, we should probably get all these new faces to the broadcast up to speed on how the broadcast is going to be run. Let's start with the broadcast schedule. So right now, we're going to be hopping into Europe during one of the heats going on right now. Later on, we'll take a look at some of the replays from Middle East that happened this morning with a live look in at Brazil after that. And then we'll wrap the day with NA East. Now, how are these guys racking up their points? Let me get you up to speed on that. So first off, 9th through 12th will get you 3 points. Right, placing between 5th and 8th is 6. 3rd and 4th is 9 points. 2nd place is 12 points. And that victory royale is worth 15, with every elimination being 1 point. Now, the prize pool across the FNCS has been $10 million. And here is a prize distribution for this weekend. A lot of money to be divvied out. And of course, the money is great, but being able to be crowned the first ever season champions across all regions is an even better. Before hopping into the games, we made some predictions earlier on in the week for Europe. There is one among us that is had a bit of a different opinion, and that's fine. We'll get there. But Sun, now, why don't you tell us about our predictions from Europe?
So I'll talk about our predictions, since the rest of us decided that, we had a brain and were able to look at what went on in the past 5 weeks. And Mitra, Mongo, and Benji just wiped the floor with the rest of the region. They averaged a 1 4th place, 3 wins, 2 second places. I know I've always harped on it, but it took literally 4 really, really bad games in both of those weeks for them to get barely edged out in the 2nd place. And any other time that they've played their game, they've been on top. But Shai, it seems like you went a different direction.
I understand that they're in their high castle, but personally, I see a revolution coming. I predict the upset, Stompy Chicken and Aqua actually taking it all home at the end. They're amazing, but I think they won't have the space ultimately, and Aqua will steal the race at the very end.
Well, we'll have to see how things pan out for these trios. Now, like I said earlier, by the end of the broadcast, Shai will be eating a cup of mayonnaise if MNB wins. So we'll have to see how that pans out for everyone. Now, guys, we are going to be jumping into game number 2 of heat number 1 in Europe. We're going to be jumping right into all the action. And to do so, we've got Monster D-Face, Dr. Lupo. Gentlemen, take it away.
Zeke, those that are confused, Shai went on Twitter and made a bet and said if the 3 that we've all, I mean, we've seen him just absolutely destroyed thus far. If they do in fact win, then he will eat not a cup, an entire jar of mayonnaise on stream. And to be quite honest with you, I think that might be some of the best content that I've seen on quite a while. Now, going into Europe here, like I said, game 2, it's already rolling right now. Monster, before we jump right into it, what do you think? How do you think things are going to play out today?
I think my stomach hurts. I'm gonna have to sit down and let this one kind of digest as we jump into these games. But I'm going to hop right in. It's Europe. They're trying to get to the grand finals. There's going to be a lot of action unfolding today, Dr. Lupo.
Lo and behold, 95 players remaining. Only one trio in Hull has gone down. And we're jumping right into retail with the trio themselves, Benji, Mongrel, and Mitro. Honestly, some of the most dominant players in solos and duos, and now they're trioed up.
That's right. And
crazy kitted already. A gold RPG.
that's
right
literally what I want to touch on
crazy.
right there.
Look,
the
look
retail row loot.
Look at the inventory.
Sets them up for success. You're looking at straight up legendary inventory. And the best of the best, what are these shoes? Shield bubbles. Shield bubbles, one of the new items introduced to Fortnite, and it's a great item, right? It's so versatile. So you're gonna see shoppers, you're gonna see launch pads, campfires. Even with the recent adjustments to the loot, the way it's divvied out here in retail, it's still so prominent in the so you're gonna see the difference. And just look at the map on the side. No one around.
It's wild to think. So I'm pretty sure everyone is already thinking it. As we've seen them play over the course of the qualifiers for this event, if no one contests retail, or it's lightly contested, let's say somebody drops black tops and they take Resi Sun,
I can tell you what that means. It means Shio is 100%
eating the mayonnaise.
Eating the mayonnaise.
100% guaranteed eating the mayonnaise. In fact, production, can we get a jar of mayonnaise ready just at some point before Sunday? Because based on what we've seen thus far, we have an insane match count across the board already. This is ridiculous. 11 points already. The previous round, but they're moving in. They have maybe, granted, we can see on the minimap that there's nobody at Dusty Depot right now, but that's a potential loot, drop spot for a trio at this point. But right now it's uncontested. You see there's builds there and there's no one around. They have free rotation to see where the next circle ends up. Meanwhile, you're going to have teams smushed up against each other already on the movement in, fighting it out. All the way to the north side of the map, just past the block. A number of players probably dropping up there.
And this is a veteran team right here. The big Robabs and Falcony been around the scene for a long while here, and they're just dictating the pace of this battle here as they're trying to look for this push right now. The shield bubble's not going to be effective. The situation right here. Down comes the Stinker. That's going to have to push him back, and should be a nice easy close-in. See right there.
Side. 30 box left. The quick swap. Grab from above. Dodges it. Basically no damage taken.
It's a good attempt. Pretty good attempt right there. Did try to, catch the Vic off guard, but fast enough. Just kind of sneak on through.
By the way, on the right side of your screen, here's the results of game one. You see Benji taking 5th place. Bubble first place position up there, which means 15 points for that trio. And there's the remainder of your top 10. Just a quick focus. Did not see game one on any of the channels that might be streaming their gameplay right now.
And I love that. I love that we can. Side of the Tilted Town. You can take a look at that map there. Players are setting up. They're setting the perches. The high grounds are being claimed, and that is how you can start to choke out squads that are rotating late here. Now, they are gonna hopefully, get a little bit of that RNG, right? Get that zone to fall in their favor, because otherwise they'd have to burn some valuable resource early on.
I will say, over 10 seasons of Fortnite, this hill has been one of the most consistent high ground advantage spots to take. And even now, you're looking down on Tilted Town where there's no building. You have essentially free shots on players that do, for some reason, choose or are forced to rotate through there. This spot is insanely good. You have clear line of sight on so many different locations. Even the high hill to the north, which is higher high ground, you still have a clear line of sight on a majority of what's up there. There's only a little nub at the top that can block line of sight of anybody that's moving on the north side of that hill. This trio, Skype, Keystar, Hunter, great spot.
Absolutely. There's no reason for them to move right now either. As you said, they have a nice line of sight over the field here. And all those tags, those are crucial tags. Remember, Storm Surge can affect anyone here, so you have to be proactive. You can't just sit around and be complacent with your positioning. You have to be actively seeking for damage. You don't want to get taken out by the Storm Surge. We have another little engagement. I'm about to go down here. Looks like the Vic is currently turning this house inside out. Another team very close by.
One more player than Zebo in the middle of Pleasant Park. Going to rotate up on top, and I think now's the time to try and get a height advantage. You don't want anybody to pump. TCK. Be low HP, might be the time to push. They have a way to pressure. 5 shockwaves in the inventory of Robabs means rotation here in a minute is not going to be a problem. The team shockwave that will come in clutch might be time for it to see why. In fact, he might even be marking it just to say, hey, let's get ready to go. Indeed, that's what he was doing. There we go. Rotation all the way south. Look at that. Solid push ahead of the team that did apply pressure moments ago. They have the circle advantage now, and now they are sitting at the forefront, able to storm hold. A big move
Reckless
there.
push. They had the zone right here. They go outside the storm, the safety zone, just to try to get that fight in it.
You got to think the potential storm surge might have been the reason for the push. Not 100% sure. We didn't have the number up on the screen at that moment, but I think from way position advantage the last second there, especially because you know the storm timer. The circle timer is on your screen, so they know that at some point, if they're going to push, they need to make it quick, or they just need to wait. Chose to move out there, and now they're on the outside. Meanwhile, 3 HP. The other 2 from the trio. That's so Amplify still up. This is the winners from game 1, by the way. 25 points, a big lead going into game 2.
This is what we like to call shambles loot right here, man. Mira with no heals, 3 HP in the Dream. Amplify also equally hurt. They do have a couple of eliminations in the game here, but it's looking pretty dicey.
Look on your mini-map. They have to rotate past so many teams in loot right now just to try and give everybody a chance. I almost would say maybe Miro drop everything that he's got just in case, any chance to boost up the other teams. At this point, 3 HP is not the best situation to be in. Here we go. That's how he pushes forward. The 2 not yet on his tail. You see, watch the second there.
You have to appreciate that, so we kind of lead in the charge here. He's the only one with shield on his team, so he says, you know what, I'm going to go out first. I'll do the building. I'll do the leading here, taking the path to the next zone. And, I mean, it gets him a little bit closer to the safety spot. I think the play here is either catch a pick or time, right? Hopefully a launch pad comes down. You guys get a little share time on it. They can get that way to the zone.
That audio cue, you hear the shockwave, that actually is a very good signal for them. Being low HP, they don't want to make a move. Hunter gets almost beamed into the ground, but now they know that basically free to rotate. The team that was potentially going to be a problem. Big hit there. Gets the elimination on Hunter. Very valuable. Does, in fact, go down. You see the top. Raxo takes him down from D-Mine. 20 free trios remaining. 61 players total. The threshold on the middle right, they're 343 damage above. Pick up there. Now 53 total.
At least he gets him a little more health here, right? Puts him in the game, keeps him in the running just for a little longer. Now he has the option to pick up this blue pump, and he actually is going to opt into keeping the gold tack. That's actually a pleasant surprise there. Wouldn't have thought that, you know, the pros would take the slower pull-out time from the gold tack over the blue pump.
You get a 200 damage hit with a blue pump. Can mean the difference between making it into the circle and getting stopped by somebody. Maybe you get surprised inside your own box, somebody takes your wall. Situational awareness is big for the blue pump to be extremely effective, and your accuracy has to be on. But man, when the thing hits, it really hits.
You really got to appreciate this push right here, because they're still fighting for this game right here. There's a minigun over to the left. That hit right there is going to hurt a lot, though, because, again, the heals are so sketchy here. I think they have one more mini left to their name. Yeah, perfect
cute.
time to come with the explodes right there. He's trying to break through the build. Someone's going to catch a sneak shot from behind, though.
That back right corner, Miro down to 49 on the ground. That's so he's probably going to have to leave him out to dry there. Another team making moves on the side. The safe zone, the next safe zone is the bottom middle of your screen, or bottom middle of the current safe zone. You see the bottom right there, the mini map. 5 damage below the threshold. Skype solo right now, looking for a tag, and he does actually find it, and an elimination is a big point right there. 20 trios remaining to get close to placement points before too long.
Just looking at the feed, I saw Mitro still in the running here somewhere in the game, so that trio, top 5 trio, still in the running here. I think our number 1 team might have been completely wiped during that push right there, so they're out. They cannot accumulate any more points, but they did pick up a lot of eliminations, so you best believe they're still in the top 10 as far as we know right now. But it's so early. It's still so early.
There's a lot of opportunity here. We still have a number of games left. Camo, Pepper at the top of this, looks like 4 or 6 block tower. Stinger to apply pressure while the minigun is going. Love the EU tactics. You don't see too much minigun other regions right now. This Tomo does go down. Imagine that many rounds from a trio, all shooting at your single build and you're by yourself. It basically GG at that point.
And this team here is also just heavy on the elims right now. An effective 7+ squad right here, and they have the prime position to catch the picks of anyone rotating from the backside. This is actually the heavy congestion is below them. They don't have anyone up here in this layer with them. The closest person it looks like it's time to get that focus fire on.
The mark for attacking right there, stink to apply and make a move. Use those HP tags that pop up, the 5, to see where your opponents are rotating. Now they're in literally the very bottom of the same builds. You have a ton of people stacked up next to each other at this point now. But Camo, Pepper, and Harmy look like they still have the ultimate high ground, the best spot on the map right now. That being said, they're on the far west of the current safe zone, and they need to rotate southeast. Hopefully, somebody's got a launch pad or shockwaves in the so they're going to have to build across and tarp over everyone else underneath them. Throwing Mitro right there on your screen. They are still in this one. Looking down from almost the same angle. Here we go. Rotation with the launch pad. Well above the damage threshold for Storm Surge. Excellent spot. And 12 rockets in the RPG. They're going to build on pre-built structure over there that somebody else put up. It might even be their own builds.
And this is exactly what you want to study from this star trio right here. Zone 6, they go for the high ground. So they're actually going to take the high ground. He's going to catch 2 on the knock right there, which means that team is really hurting now. That's going to be Voren who gets taken out there. Voren was also in the top 5, if I'm not mistaken. So that's a power takedown right here. It's going to allow this trio to get points to breaking away, getting, you know, Shio Wager, the mayonnaise tub. We'll see if it comes to fruition before the day's up.
Mitro staying a little bit towards the back to keep throwing down those RPGs at players that are rotating, or the builds to see if we can get drops on people. Mitro pick it up. There's those 2 elims in the feed, so he did secure both of them. That puts the entire trio at 6 total right now. 17 points is what we're looking at placement now. Top 15 trios remaining. Only 9 players though. Elimination feed is starting to light up across the board. These are the zones that really cut the player count down as people are moving, especially when you have one of, if not the best trio on ultimate high ground with an RPG. Are you kidding me?
But
They are
remember,
in the best spot.
Remember, it still hurts to hold high ground from zone 6 so early. They're going to be forced to jump down soon if they can't, you know, kind of map conserve properly. They're getting broken down consistently now by the shockwaves. These are one of the cons that happen when you take that high ground, because you don't get the pleasures of looting the players you drop, right? It's just like that. All that loot's gone. They actually can't use it.
And every time you hear a shockwave, you'll see these players snap and look up in the air to see if they can try and find who's on the fly. AC have 3 shots as that elimination is secured. Mitro picking up a knock on Falconly in the feet. Another one for the trio, 7 remaining. I've got to say, if this is not a win for this team, I don't know what is.
It's going to be a close one. Mongo actually did not have any more AR left in his gun. There's no more RPG left here. It's a straight-up shotgun battle. This is a crucial elim. That's going to get them some of the resources that they need to hold this high ground here. And it looks like it's cutting back across. So lucky for them, they're going to be able to kind of reuse some of their resource here. We have a couple players left in the game here. Red Roach and low ground. Shotgun, Cal as well. Raining fire. That sub SMG so good. We're shredding through builds right here. And honestly, they can pierce through the turbos like right there. These are the shots. Good pressure right here from Mitro, putting down the fire, putting all the ammunition to use here. We're almost in the final zone now. This is it. Storm Zone 9. The close-in will happen. Looks like Benji Fishy's going to go for that high ground. You saw him elevate himself right there. So he's going to get out of the harm's way of the shockwave, and Mitro's going to stay down here and just get down and dirty with the TAC SMG right now with both.
You have to remember the last set of points that you pick up as you go from 5th to 4th and 3rd to 2nd, and then to Victory Royale. So every time you see a player go down, like right there, the 4 trios remaining get even more points. As soon as one more trio goes down, we'll get it 1st and 2nd, and that's it. And we're down to the very last second here, the spray from above. This, honestly, as soon as we got to top 40, this was Mongrel, Mitro, Benji Fishy, all the way to the end. No surprise here.
And a monstrous 12 elim game right there. You saw even in the final moments, they did try to drop a couple of elim there. But with that, we're going to send it over to the studio with Zeke and Sundown. What do you have for us, guys?
Oh, man. MMB starting off the day strong. We are one step closer to Shio eating an entire jar of mayonnaise.
And it's escalated because they said Mongo really didn't define cup. Some people think it's a standard measuring cup. Some was like, honestly, it should be a World Cup. I was actually just back in the kitchen looking to see if we could find any mayo. I'm going to have to make brunch tomorrow because after that last game, it was just incredible. So that is 2 matches down in the East. Let's take a look first at the standings and see where we're at after the first 2 games, because that's weird. So who's that on top? Is that
Might as well just be Shio, East, mayonnaise.
I think so. The one thing that we saw, they had a number of elims. They were in actually 4th first match, but then the 12 elim plus the victory royale. Zeke, every single one of those being the point, and then the victory royale. 38. They're already 7 points clear of Falcony, Robots, and the Vic, who've been playing very well. 19 elims there is pushing them 5 points clear of Amplified Miro and Napso, who had an incredible first game. I mean, it's been an... Oh.
I just want to throw out a quick little apology. Based on the score, I assumed that because Zoe Miro and Amplify had first place, that they had the Victory Royale. They, in fact, did not. So, my apologies. All we were given was placement on the screen. That's my bad. Back to you.
We got to keep him honest, and we love him very much for it. But don't forget, the top 8 are moving on from this heat. So right now, you must be this tall, right? We're looking at just top 8 the points. 18, that's just like a victory royale is worth 15 in and of itself. So even if you get the victory royale with 3 eliminations, now we're right up in the top 8. So, and we're only in the 2nd game. We're about to head into game number 3. What does this spell for like all of these other teams?
Yeah, you just have to stay consistent. You have to not fear if you the way they're able to not only get initial control, but then run the rest of the lobby without having to drop down and putting themselves in bad situations. They were never threatened. Count the number of times in this clip that bullets or anything are being shot back towards them. Everyone else is so focused on just trying to rotate and avoid damage from above that these guys don't have to do really anything in terms of defensive play, and they can just focus on going forward, and it seemed like it was just going to be a win. And honestly, I want to roll this all the way back to Shall We Just Beast talking about the retail drop spot and how your early game sets you up for an advantage. They have so many tools at their disposal, from ammunition to rockets to excess shields to having enough mats because they had rotations early on to hold the high ground. It just makes it so easy and so clinical. And I promise, if you are a trio or you're just interested in competitive Fortnite and getting better, go and load up these guys' server replays. Watch them play. Check them out on their socials. You might want to actually mute their streams every now and then because it can get a little loud on the comms. Paulus does a great job breaking that one down. And let's actually take a look at page 2 of the standings because, as we talked about, in the heat formats, the top 8 are going to advance. Just so you can get it, 5 elims right now is getting you well into that second page. There's 32 teams in each of the 8 needing to be in the top 25%. Every single one of these guys is impressive, but a third of them are down. You're now into kind of like the meat of it. In the next 2 games, you don't want to fall out early. So expect to see some intense battles early on and maybe a little bit more passive play kind of in the mid game because people don't want to get dropped out. You don't want to see with that much more off the pace. Now we really need to be pressing forward. I think you'll start seeing aggression in games 5 and 6, but 3 and 4, they're going to be playing a little bit more like me. Hanging out. Being like, oh, there's people over there? No, I'm good.
Not like me, who does not get that. Got it. Yeah, we'll have to see how things go because, again, like Son, I'm saying, you have to be top 8 if you want to move on to grand finals. So for a lot of these teams, I think we're going to see that, though. Maybe even some teams that are even on, say, page 3, they want to try and make top 8. So they might just say, look, we're going to contest MMB at retail. Let's just go for it. We have 6 games. Let's try once. If it doesn't work out, we'll change the plan, but I mean, I know that's a tall order. I'm aware.
I wouldn't say so retail loot is strong, but there's a reason why you see the most dominant teams kind of staking their ground in retail because it's like, come and challenge us if you want, because if anything that benefits us more. We're confident that we can take those early game fights with you. Like if you want to split and try and do the black dot houses, that's fine, but these guys will end up running at you. They will take the challenge because for them, they see 50 pots, they see points on the leaderboard, they see ways to climb this way up. No, it's serious. That's how NMB, that's how most of them, that's what they look at retail as. If you want to come there and act confident and the mental game structures like this, where you in the first 2 games, if you are hanging around off this page, if you're not in direct contention, you might think, man, I'm struggling right now. We really need to get into it, but in reality, you're able to one or 2 strong games, or even a victory royale right now would put you through, right? Yeah. And any of these guys are capable of winning one of these games, so I think they can do it, but it's all about keeping a strong mental game as you're going through.
It's tough, man. I mean, as much as I want to see Shy eat a jar of mayonnaise, it would be kind of cool to have a new trio come up and, dethrone MMB. I am about that, but it's just going to be a lot about mental game, like you're saying. If you start to just lose your confidence even just a little bit, that's going to affect your potential placement in top 8. We'll have to see, though. I'm getting a little too excited, Fortnite fam. I want to see more of this. But yeah, I think we're getting ready. Battle Bus, the players are boarding. Will be there in just a moment. I think we have a package here in just a moment. But what do you think, man? So, do you think, where is Aqua? Did we see him? Is he on page 1?
They're not in this heat.
Okay, I'm sorry.
It's different heats. It's okay.
Different heat.
This is just heat 1. Again, just to remind people, a little too excited here. There are 4 heats coming through in Europe. 8 teams will be advancing and going on. The way you're able to kind of score and work your way up is through eliminations and placing higher up. Though in Europe, particularly, they have the highest score of all players have been and are at the very tippy top. 1%. Right? These are the best of the best and the people who are very able to compete against these guys. So they're able to elevate their game on a particular day. However, as we're sitting here and able to Mongo and Benji have done it. There are repeated trios who have shown they're consistently stronger and that much better than the rest. It's not like we're basically talking about what our favorite players are, right? It's going and looking at it and breaking it down. But for now, so out on our end, we'll go talk to the bus driver. You guys take your bio breaks, whatever you need. We'll be right back.
Hello, family of Fortnite. el-Loco-Tv here, and throughout the Fortnite Champion Series, we're going to be trying to get more acquainted with the world of competitive Fortnite. Today, we're going to be discussing the early game, the mid game, and the late game, and what different players have as their goals during the game to achieve the ultimate. Let's start. Also called the looting phase, this is where all players are attempting to secure their chosen landing spots and maximize their loot potential.